Guinevere.
So now we go into a new chapter in this bout. A new avenue of attack for the Hive to try and shake the agents into submission. If AP Bren can do this and they can ride their momentum, they are staring down match point. Here we go, game number 2. It's safe to say AP Bren, they drafted one hell of a lineup.
Love to see this too. Again, you know, whenever Kyle Teasy gets his hands on the Fanny, I would say the majority of the time it actually works really well in his favor. So I feel like that's something obviously Blacklist International wants to contain. Is Guinevere that? Well, we'll have to see if that is going to be it. But also, just a lot of attention here as well in the XP lane. Flap Teasy, the way he played the previous game, man, even with this hero, this Diroth that hasn't been a hot commodity this season even, could play out pretty well, but already early action.
Little Wonder will go to the side of AP Bren, and yeah, we have to look again very closely at the matchup between Few and Edward and their impact across the map here.
There they go. The onward goes through. Now in the mid lane, Yue in trouble. First blood going to the hands of Few.
AP Bren going fast and furious here. Already 500 gold ahead. That's the turtle, about half a minute away from spawning. Let's look at the emblems here. Anything out of the ordinary? Is this the same build that Irad had on his Guinevere?
Looking at the Gwyn, yeah. Except the attack speed is a bit unique. I remember Irad had something else, but all the other emblems still the same. And let's just see if they can, again, match the speed that AP Bren are playing at, the Faramis that they're up against. And I want to see what the build here of Kaltizi will be. Yesterday, he went for Fury Hammer, rushing the Malefic Roar. Let's see if that's going to be the same thing around here. If ever we see Kaltizi Snowball, that might be the case.
All right, something to note while we're looking at turtle control rate here. Kyle Teasy favored in this matchup. That Barats last game, very little he can do with the instincts that he has, right? Sensui wasn't a very mechanically demanding hero, but that's his MO. He's the utility jungler. Here, is he armed for that? Is the Guinevere going to give him that advantage?
He's going to be more utility yet again, and just maximizing the spatial migration.
There's a penalty zone already going to be used. Few there to help him out. Netherrealm going to be expended as well. Still the turtle going to be up here. Sensui, is he going to be able to get it off? It's Ogwin somehow that gets the turtle. AP Bren, and now Sensui going to fall. That was bad timing there. And now the purple buff for the taking.
Early retribution coming from Sensui. That looked like a Hail Mary to just try and secure it, not just for him, but for Blacklist International. And now he's going to be without his purple buff. AP Bren have done everything right this early on. They were able to counter-engage against Blacklist really well after an incredibly well-timed Netherrealm, actually from Yue.
Oh, well, it seemed like the name of the game in that first turtle fight was PTB. Just press the button. And when you're playing against Kyle Teasy, you can't just
oh Lord! Tossing him up the alley-oop, but Yue still going to be alive. That would have been really clean if Kyle Teasy was able to secure that.
Lovely. The shields from the Matilda on Renegade and the damage reduction via the gold shield turrets. It helps. AP Bren, 1,000 gold ahead. Where is it mostly on? Is it on Kyle Teasy?
Yeah, actually. Mostly on Kyle Teasy. Super Marco just, well, the gap isn't that massive. So yeah, Kyle Teasy with the kills that he's been getting, and then the farm he's been getting all across the map. Again, Blacklist, just like what AP Bren did in game number 1, they're not allowing Blacklist to play at a tempo that they're comfortable with. However, again, what they have here is if they can team fight together really well, especially for the second turtle, I'd want to see them try and contest this. They shouldn't just give this up. If they do, then they're really going to have to give up the third just so they can split push elsewhere.
All right, about 30 seconds until this second turtle comes up. AP Bren approaching 2,000 gold ahead. Again, the last we checked it was a majority. Oh, wow. What a read!
Again, what a catch here from Ogwin. Oheb in trouble.
Wow.
Will not be able to survive. It's Ogwin that gets the kill. There's a reason this was picked up early on. First pick for AP Bren.
Did you see that?
Predicted where Oheb was going to go. Ogwin just stood there and said, I'm going to take this, then I will take you with me.
And I don't know, Oheb, I think, understood the situation and he somehow wanted to play around with it. He had more mechanical skills left. Flicker, of course, up, but no. They just bursted him down there.
Didn't even burn the flicker anymore. I feel like at that point, Oheb and Blacklist already accepted that, yeah, we're going to lose our gold laner
with that
here.
kind of read, yeah?
Yeah, and just saving that flicker instead. So, Kyle Teasy.
Hello. Kyle Teasy Not going to be able to get anything out of that, but yeah, you know, with that, you can see we got Oheb there now in the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Going to switch it up.
All right, he's wave ahead of the switch.
Yeah. Let's see if AP Bren will be able to break this because Few and Count Easy will have to defend the bottom.
Still Edward. Okay, another onward to go through. Flickers out of that one, but they will lose the turret. So with that, again, AP Bren just working with this lead they have, and a big item pickup here for Count Easy.
Is this not the Infinix All-Star roamer of the season?
Yeah.
Is this
He
not
is.
how Ogwin plays?
On the master for a reason. However, that could have been a better engaged by AP Bren. They got it, but they could have gotten the kill onto Edward, actually. It's just that the timing of the Abysm Strike plus the onward of the Edith actually sent Edward out of the Abysm Strike, giving him enough room to be able to flicker away. But still, they were able to get what they could. And even though they're struggling, Blacklist still making the right cross-map call, sending Oheb to the bottom lane right away, but AP Bren read into it with a rotation of Kaltizi and Few to defend.
Oh, look, he's
Oh,
living
look at
in
the top
orange.
side. Kyle Teasy already getting that penalty zone out. Gonna get caught here a little bit, though. Oheb doesn't use the torn apart memory, though.
He can flicker and do it.
He could flicker in, goes in with the flicker, gets the stun. There it is. There's the kill. Oheb gets his own little form of revenge. And now him and Renegade will work on this top side turret.
Well, AP Bren does make up for the fact that bottom lane got pushed, but I don't think that was necessary. Blacklist International punishing AP Bren. Were they overconfident there?
Yeah, it looked like an overconfident clear on the minion wave by Kyle Teasy. It's as if he also didn't even think about, oh, he's not gonna go for this flicker here.
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't, but then look what happened. He did, and Blacklist International were able to gain something. However, with the flicker from the Brody gone, that reduces the chances of Blacklist actually contesting this turtle. As you see, they do not. AP Bren still gets it. So it was like a long-term investment, but still at the same time, you didn't really need to make it.
Uh-oh. Look at this.
Oh, okay, this could be dicey. Could be spicy. Edward, the defensive penalty zone. I know you have an acronym for that one, Leo.
DPC.
Easy. You're going to have to use it, but right now it's AP Bren just trying to find what they can around the map.
All right, and all this time, there was a threat of a push down bottom. AP Bren throw enough firepower at that to quell the push. Interestingly enough, AP Bren here slowing down as we ramp up into the mid game.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for that sudden power spike out of a big fight. Kaltizi needs to come off of an off angle, already up to an anti-Karas actually in Sensui. So again, this is going to be that utility, Guinevere. Meanwhile, Dreadnought and Blade Armor already for Edward Thursla.
Just going to take the purple from him. No contest, of course. A little too risky for Sensui to even fight for that.
Whoop. Playing footsies with Edward here. Claudia Smith forcing out another DPZ.
Okay, he doesn't. Yeah, he's happy with that. Again, you can see quite the lead he has, but Oheb able to put some pressure up there. Few gonna keep him from going back. Here comes the rest of the team, though. AP Bren on the hunt. Ogwin waiting for his own onward. Goes in! Gets the knock up of the Earth Shatter. There's the Nether Realm from both sides. Still gonna be fighting for it. Kyle Teasy on the backside. Still looking for more. Oheb still alive. For Blacklist International, how did no one die? It was Flap that went down.
Killer Kiel, the instincts of this young man, whether on the defense or the offense, he knows exactly where he needs to be and what he can do to get one for Black.
This is what we talked about, the control abilities that Blacklist International has over AP Bren. Then at the same time, if they fight together as five, the chances are good, and they did that really well to save Oheb and to even get a kill onto AP Bren. Now, interesting interaction as well. The reason Flap, Teasy, and Hogan were able to catch him was, well, Flap got to lock in his skill onto the Brody, so even though he was guiding winded by the Matilda, the Deeroth was locked in, almost got burst comboed, but Oheb was able to also flicker out in time.
But you know what? It wasn't just Flapteasy that flew. Even the Edith. So it's the onward that locked in that also led to both of them going in.
Yeah, now you can see this all resulting into this fight. Still going to be going. Penalty zone through. Oheb's going to fall, though. Kyle Teasy's still going to be looking for more. 2 down for Blacklist International. Edward and Renegade here trying to stay alive. The body Smith there, but it's not going to be enough. It's a precise kill from Super Marco. And working on another. Renegade falls. 4 down for Blacklist International, and Kyle Teasy's still hungry.
The engagement range on this lineup from AP Bren through the roof. They're throwing rounds all the way from Jakarta to Manila. Amazing. AP Bren converts straight into a Lord here. 4,000 gold ahead. Like that sequence up top didn't even happen.
Super Marco with that precise kill, and that was the perfect cherry on top of a counter engage. That was one of the more beautiful combinations that we've seen from a Matilda and a Guinevere, Renegade and Sensui. That was flashy. It was chef's kiss, but AP Bren, because of the dives of Blacklist International, didn't have enough to protect Oheb. Kyle Teasy was on that Brody really quickly, and without their marksman, AP Bren were able to turn things around because they protected their marksman while Blacklist could not.
Gotta commend as well the communication between AP Bren. Could have sworn Marco was gonna get popped. How often you see a gold laner, a soft, squishy marksman in the thick of things like that, survive and still stay to get a precise kill?
It's been a while.
Ooh,
whoa.
50% right away.
And with that, I mean, even the previous exchange, right? He just picked up the Wind of Nature. So he just now has that. So again, AP Bren finds himself in a comfortable lead. Yes, the Lord come down the bottom side. Black International's gonna have to answer it, but they're losing these turrets as well.
Here we go. Bottom lane, Lord. Mid lane, AP Bren. Top lane, Big Wave. And the rest of the squad. Blacklist on the back foot once more.
Oh, Ogwin goes in with a conceal, tosses him over to his head. The shield's gonna go through. Edward with a penalty zone. Will go down though. Super Marco gets the kill. So they're going to be happy with that. Lord has been worked on. Blacklist International holds on to the base turrets.
I mean, successful defense, and if you gotta put a body right in front of AP Bren to get there, I'd say it's worth it here. Just under 12 minutes in, 8K ahead.
The penetration build onto this Beatrix. Blacklist need to reach it. That's their biggest problem now. After all of the dives, after the Fanny, is can you even reach the Beatrix, Malefic Roar, Heptaseas, BOD, and the Wind of Nature that you mentioned as well. While Fanny actually just got to build a Sea Halberd. So this is AP Bren locked and loaded. They can just continue the sequence of clearing waves, positioning for Lord, trying to find an opening here, while Blacklist will try to play the cross map, sending Renegade along with Oheb to split push the side lanes or the opposite lanes in the meantime.
Now you mentioned the Hitman, the Matilda here. There was one sequence wherein he actually brought in Sensui with the Guinevere to get the perfect Violet Requiem. I'd say that is best case scenario for Blacks International to actually clap back and crawl their way into a more favorable position here, game number 2. This does allow for us to actually digest and consider the options. What could happen in the next 2 to 3 minutes to allow for us to make a better call of what's going to happen here in game number 2?
I think, you know, similar to what you guys said about yesterday's performance with the Guinevere, like, it's tough, man. You know, it's the way that the bans went, all targeting Sensui's picks, and then he picks up this Guinevere. Even with the Guiding Wind and having the Matilda there in Renegade's hands, like, you're still seeing him not being able to basically contest these objectives, get the space that he needs to get into these Lord Pit fights now that we're there at this point in the game, unless they are able to pull off some surprise initiation, surprise attack, whether that's, you know, on the wings of literally Renegade, or if they can pull off a concealed play or something. That's where it might fall in favor for Blacks International. But again, what's staring them in the face is this nearly 8,000 gold deficit that they're at. So even if they pull off something great and they get a great initiation, it's like economy-wise, itemization-wise, do they have enough to actually withstand the damage being thrown at them from AP Bren?
Yeah, so let me try to paint a picture for you guys here. So if you remember the sequence we saw with AP Bren and Blacklist where Renegade and Sensui pulled that off, we might see an adjustment. If it's not going to be Renegade and Sensui, it might be Renegade and Edward flying to the back line of Blacklist International, trying to get Super Marco. That was a long flight. Now, what Blacklist needs to do in that scenario is then to make sure that Yue and whoever is left behind can protect Oheb, and they'll make the turnaround from there.
Conceal play going to be used. Kyle Teasy swinging in on the backside. Netherrealm already going to be used as well. Edward, the one to fall. That might be enough for AP Bren to just be happy and call it back. Lord's going to be up in 10.
All right, that's all the ult spent for one player. Edward goes down here, 20 seconds on the clock. That does open up a free Lord for AP Bren, so I'd say that's worth it.
And Sui still able to get that purple buff. Very worth it. And now let's see if Blacklist International will be able to weather the next oncoming storm. with this push. A massive lead. The Fanny pickup. Every time Kyle Teasy just shows himself at the right time in the back line to make Blacklist hesitate.
You gotta think twice. Again, they did this against RSG last night, wherein a Baksha, a Hilda, and a Fanny were roaming roughshod, wanton chaos across the map. Now, it's just Kyle Teasy, and it's doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're not going to give him this orange buff. They're going to go ahead and wait for this Lord to march up top side. So now it's up to Blacklist International. 10K down. Can we defend against this, right? Do we have the tools where we need to be? What also does UA do, right? For the most part, he's been taking the Nether Realm, trying to extend some of these team fights as well, but right now the firepower is the big question.
This could be it, gentlemen. There's a wave in mid, Lord up top. This is a fight waiting to break out.
He's gonna go for it on the defense. Flap Teasy still has the immortality, should be fine. Torn apart memory, not enough though. Holds on to his life and the immortality. Lord gets the top turret, it's gonna be work done, and the mid turret goes down. But Blacklist International holds on for a little longer.
Hewitt just built up a Divine Glaive. It feels like it was ages ago when we mentioned him building trying to rush that item, but he opted to go for the Lightning Charge earlier, get a bit more cooldown reduction, and of course with how AP Bren are positioning themselves around the Faramis, he wants to use the Resonate passive to maximize the damage. Yeah, it's just AP Bren, total control. We've already laid down what Blacklist International could potentially do. The other scenario is then to just AP Bren completely flub an attempt to end the game in a base stage.
Well, I think they're going to push it once again. Onward goes in with the Earth Shatter. Still going to be working for the turret. Nether Realm to answer. Kyle T's going to go on the backside. Still looking for a kill. They're quite healthy for now. Will hold on. Kyle Teasy showing himself with the cables. But Blacklist International will hold on to a sliver of the turret. Oh, Sensui playing with danger here as he stays alive.
Immaculate defense. Blacklist played that very well. Not a single casualty. And they keep their bottom lane inhibitor, albeit with just 1 HP.
Despite the massive item disparity, which is evident right now in every skirmish and fight that we're seeing, yeah, Blacklist International, they're keeping it very composed. Again, with all the turnarounds we've seen all throughout MPL Philippines Season 12 and even before that in Season 11, it's not impossible for Blacklist to find a turnaround. It's just very difficult because AP Bren aren't giving them a lot of room for errors to capitalize on.
Gentlemen, check this out. Can confirm since he's building full tank.
Yep.
He wants to peel for his team and then get those key CCs in. But also, they have resorted to going double roam. They actually put the encourage boost on Edward. So every little bit for those team fights.
And at this point, they're just really doing everything to set up OHEB for success. And yeah, the Brody is the main condition now for Blacklist International. While for AP Bren, with everything that's going well for them, their lead, they can't miss out on their targeting. They still have to keep that Brody in check and try to respect the marksman of Blacklist.
Yep, nothing comes for free. Now the Lord dance. Lapped easy. Going for a slow pull here. But Sensui wants to reset, wants to go put it over the Blacklist side. And they don't know where Marco is.
Yeah, and you also see the positioning here of Kyle Teasy. He's going to be the split threat.
Oh, Ogwin. Ogwin already using that conceal. They're going to force Sensui back here. So they might just have to give this one up unless they actually want to fight for it. They know they're down a member as well. They got to defend that bot, but Lord secured for AP Bren.
All right, so there's that. Again, it's so hard to contest when you're looking down double digits of a gold lead. And yeah, AP Bren's going to continue choking out Blacklist, cordoning them off, keeping them inside their base.
Yeah, Starlium Scythe was the item built up just now by Ogwin. Few with the Holy Crystal, Flap Teasy with the Dominance Ice. So the utility that they were able to play with this Deeroth, of course, with him naturally having armor reduction here, physical defense reduction, it just set up Kyle Teasy and Super Marco with being able to deal more damage. While for Blacklist, let's see if they can hold on here. It's going to be tough. Not impossible, but incredibly difficult.
Here we go. Lord marching through mid. Bottom lane going to get cracked open. And just like that, the defense by Black.
Yue still looking for an ultimate himself here. Onward, over Sensu. He's taken care of real quickly. Edward gonna jump in with his own penalty zone. Still gonna be fighting for it. Kyle TZ gets a double. Renegade on the run. It's Yue and Oheb defending. He gets tossed up again into Super Marco's hands, and that'll be it as AP Bren gets to match point.
This winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance.
These aren't just bees that we're seeing. These are Yellow Jacket Hornets. My goodness, what AP Bren are doing in the series so far. Dismantling the code like this. It's shades of their IESF World Championship form that we're seeing.
Joseph, tell me, you breathe the same air they did in Iași, Romania.
Yeah.
Is this that same team that won that World Championship?
Guys,